The Fair Sands and Fountain area in Aberdeen is made up of 600 houses situated between Great Northern Road and the railway track. The houses built around 1935 are solid granite structures, but internally they have many problems. Many of the houses have been empty for years as it is difficult to attract people to the area. Fair Sands is regarded as one of the most disadvantaged areas in Europe due to its high rate of unemployment, single parents, long-term sick and children with no earning parents. Fair Sands qualifies for additional funding by being part of Aberdeen's Social Inclusion Partnership, also known as the Great Northern Partnership. Although this has attracted resources for community initiatives, it has not helped attract money to spend on environmental or housing problems.
I think if they spent some money on it, people would want to live there. Empty flats would then be filled and it would generate more money. So they've got to start somewhere. If they regenerated the whole place, make it look attractive, then people would want to stay.
In recent years, a number of improvements have been made in response to community demands. Garden fences were erected throughout the area. Sleeping policemen were introduced in Barn Street and Sandlands Drive. The masonettes in Western Road were totally renovated and many other smaller improvements were also made.
It's a good area, it's a good community spirit, and well, if there is problems in the area, we usually all come together and try and fix them out.
We're a good bunch of people. We're happy, we stick by one another. We're like one big happy family.
It is actually a really friendly area. I mean, everybody seems to talk to everybody else, and the trouble that seems to be in the area is from a few isolated people. It's not the general rule.
I think there's quite a deep community spirit. I think there's quite a feeling of people do want to try and change things, even though sometimes they may feel powerless to do so.
Oh, I think it's great. I've really enjoyed it. I've stayed there 8 years and I love it.
We've got quite a good community spirit already because we've got a project and that running and whatnot, and everybody knows everybody, so everybody sort of looks out for everybody else.
As members of a teenage parents group who meet weekly at the Fair Sands and Fountain Community Project, we have identified concerns about a number of different safety issues in our area.
I like being a young parent in the area because there's lots for us to do, but you didn't feel very safe in your house yourself at night and you get scared.
Being young parents, a main concern of our group is to have a safe and clean environment in which we and our children can live and play. Our film highlights community safety issues that we feel are in need of significant improvement. One of the main priorities of these improvements should be the security door entry system. Many people, including opportunist criminals, see doors as a barrier. The more secure the barrier, the less likely people will take advantage. Doors are often wedged open, either by lobby cleaners or by people concerned that they may not get back in due to the entry system's disrepair.
Well, the block I live in, the door intercom hasn't worked since December, so there's no point in them fixing the door there because there's no way to get in. So, it's like, it's awkward that way. Because then you can't lock the door or you're locking everybody out that doesn't have a key.
Well, the buzzers on their door entries are silent, you can't hear, so you've got to rattle the door back and forth.
The door entry systems here, well, especially in my building, the buzzers don't work. You've got to look out your bedroom window to see who's at your door because you can't hear through the intercom.
It is also impossible to close many of the doors properly due to the concrete floors being uneven or the doors being swollen or damaged. The locks on the doors can become broken for a variety of different reasons. Top of the list must be that they are so old.
I've lived in 2 properties in this area and the doors have never ever worked, and I've never ever visited anyone and ever had to use an intercom in the 5 years that I've lived here.
If they got new doors in and had the doors turning outwards and change where the intercom system is, because it annoys my house with the intercom being right through the wall from me. I can hear every word that's being said through it.
Aberdeen's I left open front and back door, and the buzzer doesn't work. If you buzz a buzzer and you pick it up, they can hear me but I can't hear them, so it could be anybody.
Like our landing door, even when it's like closed, locked, closed, you just push it and it's opened, and it's not very safe.
Many tenants who are given property in the area tend to be at the bottom of the housing points league table. Some of these tenants may have chaotic lifestyles, which can mean keys being lost or misplaced and consequently doors being kicked in. Nicola, you're part of the Young Mums group and you've been here all your life. What do you think of the doors?
Well, I've been here since I was a bairn and I've never really felt safe, and I don't think the doors have ever worked properly.
You used to bide at the bottom. Why did you move to the top?
I didn't feel safe in the bottom because there was a lot of brackens in the ground floor flats, but as soon as I found out that the flat up the stairs was empty, I applied for it and then I moved up.
Do you feel safer at the top?
I didn't. I still get nervous with the doors at the bottom being open all the time, but at least I can't get broken into being at the top. I would feel a lot safer if the doors at the bottom would be fixed.
If you had the opportunity to change the security system in the building, what would you do?
Something that works for a start. I ken that the other areas have got security doors and things. Just wondering if in Farn we're getting them.
Could you give us some details on the future plans for upgrading the intercom system?
Because the present system was installed between 1988 and 1995, we usually only tend to replace the systems during their life cycle period between 15 to 18 years. So there's no plans to upgrade the systems at the present time. Within the last couple of years, we've replaced all the flat doors, each individual flat door, to provide security within each individual flat. And that was really in order to give tenants a more secure environment within their own tenancies. I appreciate the security doors. The door entry systems have got to be good, but largely they rely on the tenants, looking after those systems, and that's the problem with those ones.
We have conducted our own survey by physically checking every front and back door and landing. Over half the front doors are jammed open and 57% are not actually working. Again, nearly half of the back doors remain open, with 42% of them not working. It's important to point out that these figures do not highlight other problems with the doors, such as being swollen when wet, the uneven concrete floors and holes in the windows or doors. Would you like to comment on the security doors that we have in our area?
Tenement security doors are basically only as good as the people that live in the flat. On too many occasions when I walk around areas, including Fair Sands and Tillydrone, there are many tenement flats which have the locks working are left open, and too many people, when they answer their buzzer, don't ask correctly who it is, and they let people in without knowing, which obviously isn't good enough. I would say that the tenement doors in your area probably aren't up to standard, but like I say, you need to ensure that everyone in the block is capable of using it properly and not just letting anyone into the door.
I'll be honest, I quite often wedge the door open because I've got cats and they go in and out. And I would certainly bow if people had an objection to that, certainly. But so it's not generally kept locked, and it's just got into habit. And there's a lot of blocks I've got like that. There's just a habit that it's not kind of locked.
But the intercom doors is always being broken anyway, and the tune doesn't seem to be doing anything about it, because we reported, I went down to report one door getting kicked in, even my door, a neighbour's door, and I actually caught him doing it, and I got height abuse for him. I didn't even live there, at nothing to do with me. I said, I'm just telling you, it's not my, you're damaging property. So the tune woman we went down to says it needs 2 witnesses, so the neighbour come down with me because we seen him doing it again. And then they passed the box saying, have you informed the police? I said, why should I inform the police? It's your property. We're doing telling you fast kicking in the door. It's up to you to do something about it. So we waste our time.
Well, the main door at the bottom doesn't lock, so I don't feel very secure that way.
What would make you feel more secure?
Moving.
Just across the railway line from us, Tillydrone has undergone extensive regeneration. The immediate and most apparent impact is their new doors, which have a modern security entry system.
Jodie, you bide in Tillydrone, you've got the same buildings as us but a new doors. What do you think of them?
New doors are brilliant. People's commented, especially the old people's commented on how secure they feel in the buildings. And then when you come in a building, you feel a lot better because the doors got closed behind you and nobody else can get in a building. It's the best thing that's ever happened to your area.
What about at night? Do you feel safer at night?
I feel safer at night, as I say, because nobody can come in to the building after you. Can you just make sure the door's secured and nobody can come in.
Have you had any problems with them since I've been in?
Aye, we've had problems. Kids kick them in, they can kick them in through the magnets. The security door in a community flat doesn't always work because I think it's hard for them to get parts. They are heavy to open. As you can see, it wouldn't be easy to push a buggy. And plus, say, kids and meshes in here, plus wheelchairs, and I think it would be quite heavy for people with wheelchairs. The cleaners tend to leave their cones in the doors, and I'm not sure if it knockers the mechanism in the doors or no, but they're not really supposed to. But people do jam the doors open, and really they shouldn't be jamming the doors open because they're security doors. But apart from that, yeah, they're fine.
So do you think we'd benefit with the new doors in our area?
I think our community would benefit a lot better. There wouldn't be so much break-ins in the area because there's not so much break-ins here now that we've got new security doors. And young lasses will feel safer, and kids will feel safer in their landing.
We think that the doors fitted in Tillydrone are fine, but some operating problems and issues, such as colour and style, can only be sorted out if there is comprehensive consultation prior to any installation work commencing. What is the routine for consulting tenants if there is any changes?
We meet with the groups if there's identified groups within the city, and of course there is in Fairsands, there's the Fairsands Forum that we meet with. The difficulty is that we don't have a specific budget for each area. It would be easier if we had a specific budget that we could say, okay, we've got £20,000 to spend in your area, and this is, you know, what do you want for your 20,000? There isn't that sort of finance available to be able to split it up citywide at the moment. However, that is being looked at. Once that happens, it would be easier. However, in the meantime, how it works is we ask the community for their priorities, and pretty much we try and cost up the priorities that they've given us and take any initiatives from that.
The video has shown that new security door entry systems have been successfully installed in other areas. We would argue that it is a matter of extreme urgency that new doors and security entry systems be installed in the Fairsands area. The importance of lighting does not stop at our front doors. Street lights play a lead role in making people feel more confident and secure about walking around their area at night. We feel that the street lighting in our area leaves much to be desired.
Well, I'm on the Fountain Management Committee, Fairsands and Fountain Management Committee, and a lot of the pensioners are saying to me about the street lighting. It's very, very poor. As one lamppost was knocked down maybe a year ago. Council came along, sorted out the wiring, then they tarred it over. It's never been replaced. There is about one lamppost, I would say, at the top half of Western Road, which works, and that's at the top end.
There are some areas in the community that are not covered at all, and in areas where there is street lighting, we are not entirely convinced that the lights are as bright as they could be.
There's not a lot of lights around about down the lanes and nothing before I wake up. It's all dark. So I just got along the top way, along Great Northern Road.
One of the issues that's been raised in making our video is street lighting. How do you feel about it?
I personally haven't noticed any problem with street lighting in the Fairsands area, but I would say I'm not there all the time, so if people in the area believe there's a problem, then they should be reporting it through the appropriate channels to the council.
Do you think if the street lighting was improved, it would help a number of violent crimes in the street?
There are a number of areas in Aberdeen where there is poor street lighting by design. I think if you feel safe with better lighting, then obviously it's going to be a help, although I'm not sure if there'd be any link between the actual lights and the number of crimes there would be.
I just say they ought to put me a place in the bed because the neighbours are just nagging out at night. I'm saying I'm no young like, but before it wouldn't bother me, you know, it's kind of any time of night. I've even walked into, but now, no way I would venture out.
One of the biggest problems we have identified is that many of the street lights have trees growing very close to them. Throughout the summer and autumn, leaves tend to obscure the lights and cast big pools of shadow across the pavement. It makes the area look quite dark, and walking through the scheme at night could be quite intimidating.
The street lighting needs to be upgraded a good bit. They need to either trim the trees back or remove them so that the street lighting can be more effective. Because at the present moment there's trees growing over the street lighting and that doesn't really help.
We would like to suggest that the branches that obscure the light be regularly cut back to allow the street lights to work to their maximum efficiency.
When it comes to the trees around street lighting, it is really just a question of asking Arts and Recs if they'll cut back those trees. However, it is a big problem, not just in Fairsands but across the whole of the city, because the arts and recreation budget has been cut back really hard. They only cut back trees through the housing, will only cut back trees if it's branches that's actually growing in through windows and things, and even then the inspector will only cut them back if the roots are actually affecting the property of the house, because it's not considered to be an issue for housing.
It has become clear that the council have a lack of clarity in dealing with streetlight provision, as up to 3 different departments can be involved in ensuring adequate lighting in our area.
It's not a very big area, but the small distances that I do go can be quite sort of scary. There's sort of different groups of people with the trees and stuff, and any lighting that does get damaged takes an awful long time to be repaired.
Most of them don't work. Heaps of them's just broken and everything.
This problem can be readily addressed by providing a first-stop shop. Could you explain the idea of a one-stop shop?
My understanding of a one-stop shop is an office or an area where you can come and really get everything done. So you could come into an office such as this, report a repair, ask about your application, check up perhaps on your rent or your benefit, and even taking it to the ultimate, buy theatre tickets or a swimming card to go swimming, really everything. So you come into one place and do it all.
Do you think the one-stop shop would solve the problems faced by tenants?
I think it would, in that you wouldn't have the people saying, well, I had to phone one person for that and then somebody else, for something else. I think it'd be quite good to have one face you could identify with and come in and say, can you do all this for me?
We should not be intimidated in our own area by lack of adequate lighting. We would like to see a much more responsible attitude to this very important issue. Money spent on this major community problem now will reap benefits in the future. It will reduce crime and make members of the community feel safer and more confident walking in their area at night. Play parks should provide a secure and healthy environment for our children. Our play parks leave much to be desired in this respect. In our area there are 2 play parks. The most central one is in Ferrier Crescent and has limited facilities. Despite the size of the park, there seems to be very little in it, and we would like to propose that a variety of new play equipment be installed.
Kids love swings, we definitely need better swings, and what's your favourite thing in the park? Seesaws, it's one, it's a word.
And a shoot.
And a shoot.
The play parks around this area have only really got like swings and climbing frames and chutes. It'd be better if you can get more things to do. Maybe some wooden climbing frames, adventure climbing frames. There is one basketball hoop, but it's not really good because the chain's all broken.
It would also improve our confidence and give us peace of mind if we could feel that our children were safe and secure in the play park.
The fences have all got holes in them and nothing. And there's a pitchy for we play, but we don't play fit by her a lot because it's too dark at nights.
In the play park there's not enough lighting and it's all full of glass. You don't know if there's needles lying about, and it's not a very nice park. Could be vastly improved.
The swing park is just full of glass, and just thinking that that could really be done with a sweep up, and some of the paths are just littered with glass.
Well, my grandson's 10 and the youngest one's 8, and I actually can do, and they go to the football park beside the community, and I actually keep an eye. I go down and now and again, see far they are, because I don't feel safe. I don't feel they're safe, no.
Skint knees would be a thing of the past if a little more thought was put into the selection of ground cover. We feel that the present surface is inappropriate for a play park, and we would prefer to see the rubber-based ground covering used throughout.
I wouldn't let my bairn play here.
Why not?
Because it's not fit for bairns to play. It's Austin. There's glaze lying about, there's needles that have hairdryer lying about, and there's too much other people fahing about here, and I just wouldn't let her.
Towards the outskirts of the area there is another play park in Marquis Road. This play park also suffers from a lack of good quality play equipment.
You've got a lot of space in the park and there's nothing there, and it gets kind of boring.
The swings that are there are in such disrepair that I don't think they're even safe to play on. The kiddies, like the safety swings for the toddlers, they're all, like the bars are buckled.
I think it's just a dump yard because there's just people throw all their rubbish out there, and there's big dogs and everything that go and let them do their dirt and everything in there. And when we go out, we just get covered in dogs' dirt and everything.
Could you tell us what you think about a play area for the kids?
There's not really much about to see. As you can see yourself, there's a chute, a couple of swings, and our view's blocked by a watch there. So we call it our little kids out to play without taking to sit out the back with them. We've got a problem with needles and things like that. Stray dogs, other kids coming out the park area and fighting and that. There's a lot of problems with it.
Is there anything you think could be done to improve it?
Well, for a start, they could take down the wall and put in a bit more, like a sand pit and other things that would attract the kids to be playing in it rather than playing on this bit here, because they get fed up here. As you can see yourself, they come and dig at the hole there, and if they had a sand pit and other swings and maybe a roundabout and things like that. And as I says, if a wall was doing a bit so as we can see what the kids are up to without having to sit out the back all the time with them.
Could you tell us what you think of the play area for the kids?
I must admit, they're great kids, and it's a damn shame that they've nowhere to play, and when they do, they've got to play in this and hurt themselves in the process. They could, I don't know, put some kind of fencing up, seats around the trees for the summer, seesaws, I don't know, they could do something. And especially this bank, if they could either level it off and regrass it, there might be something underneath the stairs, a hole. I mean, it's the architect's problem that I don't know. There might be something, a reason for that cement. But as far as I'm concerned, the children come first, surely. And they are in danger on that stairs because I can see them.
Aberdeen City Council's play policy consultation documents suggest that play is an essential part of everyone's life and is fundamental to human development. Their vision also commits to ensuring that every child in Aberdeen under the age of 18 has access to suitable play facilities. Our research has shown that this is not the case in our area.
A BMX track would be good, some swings and stuff for the kids, because they're always fighting and stuff because they're bored. I mean, it's not my problem, but...
And there's only 4 swings?
There's only 4 swings, one of them's broken, the chute's a mess, and that's it. Every other thing is broken. I mean, what's the kids going to do?
I would probably buy new facilities and just wipe the whole park out, then build it up again.
I would think getting a caretaker for the kids to go down to the park where there's somebody there to supervise kids in the park, and more policing on the streets at night.
There are good play parks in Aberdeen, but from our area it requires a car or 2 buses to get there. This means that our kids are being deprived of suitable play facilities.
I take my grandson to the Duthie Park a lot, but I would think twice before I took him round to the play park in my area because of the poor repair of the play swings and the general safety.
Something should be done about the play park, because there's not enough renewal area for the kids. If council spent less money in their nights out, their banquets and stuff like that, maybe our kids could get a better sense of freedom. Somewhere to play during the day, especially in the summer days. Especially for those that can't afford to take their kids on holiday.
We believe that our kids are entitled to a safe and secure environment to play in, better facilities and a safer ground surface within these facilities. In essence, a happier, safer environment for our kids to play in. Under normal circumstances, windows and verandas are generally considered to be attractive assets of a home. In Marquis Road, the windows are a potential life-threatening hazard for our kids.
Aye, well, it's dangerous for the kids for a start. And the little one, he can open it. He's just coming up for a tune. He can just go like that and open the window. And the oldest one's 5 and he could do the same. I just didn't think it's safe at all. There's no clips or whatever to stop it if you open them wide for him to fall out. Some moulds around him as well, because they're that old, they're 25 years and the mould's just terrible and it can cause asthma for your kids. And my little one's got asthma through it. There's no central heating or nothing to stop it.
Well, my windows, it's not double glazing. There's like a lot of condensation comes through and there's no safety catches.
Well, they need better locks in the windows. Well, here's a bearing if she climbs up in them. Not very safe for her.
In Ferriers, verandas offer greater opportunities for burglary by giving easy access to anyone who has serious intentions of gaining entry to our houses. Evidence of this can be seen around the area by the disproportionate number of boarded up flats on the ground floor in many of the blocks.
Some of the folk we've interviewed have moved from bottom floors to top floors because of burglaries. Is there any evidence of that, do you ken?
I can't give you any specific figures of evidence of there being more break-ins to downstairs properties, although it's well known that, especially with these new security doors, that ground floor flats are more vulnerable because people who are breaking in have got access to the windows. There have been very few break-ins through these new style doors that have been put in by the council. So the majority of instances of housebreaking have been on the ground floor of late.
The council readily admit that they have failed in their programme of securing verandas.
Because of the new flat doors, the burglars, if you like, are not getting in through the flat doors, so they're making alternative attempts to get in other ways. So they've been sort of trying to get in through windows and in the balconies. And the balcony enclosures, we have a rolling programme. I again appreciate that we didn't manage to achieve many balcony enclosures through the years, but it's certainly an initiative that we've taken on board given what the community have said to us in the past.
We've actually blocked in our own veranda for our own security. So like we're in the middle floor, so we've built it in ourselves. So it's quite safe enough.
We appreciate that the council has a limited budget to carry out work in our area, but when it comes to the lives of our children and the security of our homes, we feel that these are areas of improvement that need to be tackled immediately. There's a world of difference between coming home to a well-lit, clean lobby than to a dark, dingy and smelly one as we often have to in Fair Sands.
The lobby is not to put too fine a point on its smell and smell worse after they've been cleaned. I think they need to refurbish the whole lobbies by tiling and painting because the smell just gets worse once they've been cleaned. They start at the top of the stairs with one mop and finish at the bottom with the same one, using the same water.
Even when they've just cleaned the stairs, it still stinks. It smells worse than what it was.
The flooring and decor of the landings are of a depressingly low standard. The lighting is insufficient and badly designed. The walls are seriously in need of a coat of paint. The banisters need ripping out and replaced, and the concrete flooring is both uneven and absorbent.
Without being too crude, we've got people urinating, we've got people doing number twos and that in the hall and that. It does be a problem, especially if you've got young kids.
The fact that so many of them are open to access to anybody. I mean, we've got a big problem on our one just now. People doing the toilet in it, people hanging about on them. A lot of the times, you know, we've had to get people out to fix the lighting in it because the lighting keeps breaking down. So, you know, we've got loads of quite strange characters hanging about there.
The disrepair of the front and back doors mean that the lobbies suffer from the effect of the weather and through vandalism.
When the wind comes in, the fire alarms always go off and we have to go down and close the doors, and plus they're freaky at night, and plus the lights don't work in them. It's just dark and glumsy now, and I think they should give them a paint to light them up.
We often feel intimidated and threatened just going into the lobbies. Our feelings of insecurity are increased due to the dim lighting and the risk of coming across someone you definitely wouldn't want to meet in a dark lobby.
The landings are scary, and it's echoey and scary.
It's not really safe with the back door because we've got a cat in our landing, and my bike got stolen from the landing because the woman leaves the door open all night and everything. So it's not really that safe, and it's frightening to walk in it yourself.
I was saying I feel safe, and I feel because of my position perhaps and my size, but I definitely sometimes walk into lobbies and I subconsciously kind of, as I'm walking up the corridor, I'm almost checking just in case that you know, I'm being prepared. And so I obviously don't feel safe, except I could deal with it.
There's also the added risk of falling down or tripping up the stairs in the inadequate lighting.
Well, we've got like Steen and him going up and doing the stairs. I mean, he's fell and scraped his legs and nothing. And
well, I see that some of the closes don't, all the lights are broken, and that's not very, it doesn't exactly make people feel very safe.
Yvonne, when we first started making this film, one of the issues identified was the doors and the landings as a serious problem in the area. What do you think the problems are?
Well, for one, flares are concrete, so it'd be good if you could get some like tiles or something doing, because if in the wash of concrete, well, it isn't clean. They're only washing it. There's always puddles, nothing left, and you can't concrete, it just soaks up the water. So it's just a mess. The walls need painted, they need more lighting in the landings and make sure it works. They need locks in the doors, and I think they need to put the doors out away instead of coming in away, because Aberdeen just keeps on like kicking them in anyway. And if they can get proper banisters and banisters out at stairs outside, because there's 3 stairs there, well the kids just fall doing that because there's nothing to hold on to. And if they get proper banisters in here, and just brighten the landings up the best they can.
Middlefield have recently had their internal communal areas upgraded. The lighting is now much brighter and gives a greater sense of security. Industrial floor tiles have been fitted, the windows and banisters have been replaced, and the walls have been painted, make the tenements look much more attractive. We visited Middlefield and discovered that the landings had been repainted, new lighting, new windows and tile flooring installed. Is there any future plans for similar work to be done in Fair Sands?
There's no immediate plans for that work to be carried out. However, it is part of the needs-led programme. You may know that we're meeting with representatives on a regular basis now, looking to discuss with them what they see as the priorities for their area. And that was something that was raised from Middlefield, from the tenants there. Middlefield is considered to be the next stage of the regeneration programme. So they're kind of right behind Alexander Terrace and for Martin Road. Fair Sands hopefully will come right behind Middlefield. So any money that's identified we can use for the priorities that the tenants see.
We would like our internal communal areas brought up to the standard enjoyed by residents in other areas of the city. A few simple alterations made in consultation with residents would give us a greater sense of security and pride in the area we share with our neighbours. We are very serious about the issues raised in this video, and every issue has been thoroughly researched. Our hope is that our service providers and council representatives respond with the same level of seriousness. It may seem as though we are asking for quite a lot, but if you think about it, we are only asking for the things that many people would expect as a right. We don't expect miracles. We simply expect a reasonable response to our legitimate concerns.